This is James Adams with My Home Electrician, where we believe that success is a symptom of good relationships. In the spirit of good relationships, let's talk about that. We had a previous video with the mother-in-law suite, giant mess. We used that fancy word gutter and double lugging and everything else. That same client, same property, really fun ranch, really awesome ranch. It has a shed, if you could call it that, supersized shed, that was horribly done, and we're in the middle of getting this thing pre-wired. The guys all had to leave for the end of the day. Rather, I sent them all home because the guys need rest too, and it's Friday, and who doesn't like going home early on a Friday, getting paid the same? Just a nice guy like that. I'm just kidding, that's super cocky. So let me talk with you guys real quick. And actually on that note, on relationships, success is a symptom of good relationships does not only apply to our clients, but also to our employees. Hence why we had everyone cut bait for the rest of today, Friday, and getting everybody paid the same anyway, is because good relationships are important internally within your business, as well as externally with your clients. So it's important as a business owner to follow through on both counts, both sides of that fence, and not just the side that's financially convenient all the time. It's about relationships. And that's why we're successful. So let's, without further ado, talk about what we're doing in this big shed, shop, whatever it is. We're in the middle of this here. So let's talk about what they started with, what they did. Let's move this ladder. This bundle of joy is a panel that was originally installed by somebody who gave it their best shot, I'm sure. I can't imagine they did their second best that they knew how to do, so we'll just assume this is their first best. Outside, this is ran in plumbing pipe, not even Schedule 40 irrigation pipe, and this whole thing moves and isn't solid at all. And it's still hot. Probably shouldn't have done that, but hey. So what we're gonna do is, inside that box is a brand new version of this that's less damaged and doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff blown out of it, not filled with critters and dead geckos and everything else. And we're not gonna use plumbing pipe to come out the top, and we're not gonna run it in UFB, which is sort of maybe okay. We'll go into UFB and the glory that is. It's this gray wire. All this gray wire is UFB. It's underground rated, UV resistant, whole bunch of other fun things about it, but it has very specific areas that it can and can't be used. So going underground, UFB. Direct burial at 24 inches, UFB all the way. The deal breaker with UFB is that it cannot be exposed to potential damage. Because this thing is so low, I would say that that's definitely going to qualify for being exposed to potential damage. So we're going to get rid of all that. They have one really cool light up there that is actually this plug. So this is the light switch, if you could call it that. The light works as long as this is plugged in, and then to turn it off, you unplug it with this cool taped together splice between two different cords. Maybe they cut it off of a vacuum cleaner. I don't know. Point is, they made it work. And we're going to increase the standard here from, hey, it works, to actually safe and actually code compliant. Novel thought. So here's the game plan. I'm going to show you guys something here real quick. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Don't judge me. We're not advertising for bad habits for young people. Here's my quick little chicken scratch sketch on what we're going to do. These right here, let me grab something to point out with. This right here is a garage door. This right here is a garage door. This is where that panel was. This is the door that's just to the left of the panel. And then here's our wall. Here's some windows. And this is the layout on what we're going to do with this new panel and circuiting. We're gonna run one, maybe two circuits, depending on how they plan on using it. Center of this wall, evenly spaced at 88.25 inches. And then centered up between the windows, up high, 24 inches from the floor, centered up, and then matching that same cadence here at 88.25. A little typo, ignore that 0.5. And then these plugs are actually switched. So there's gonna be a light switch just to the right-hand side of the door. And then that wiring is gonna be ran up high. And these plugs up high, there's gonna be 6 of them, are gonna be screwed into the C channels, the steel C channels that are up here in this structure. And the lights that he's planning on using don't hardwire in. They hang by a piece of safety chain. We then screw in a safety cable, so in the event that it falls, there's an added layer of protection, and they just plug in. So it'll make it really easy for the client because they will be able to change out any light fixtures if they fail, as they fail, when they fail, however you want to phrase it. They'll be able to do it themselves without having to have the electrician do it all for them, which is super nice. So up here, we've got our first plug centered up with the door. We've got our light switch that's mounted right here to the front of this frame. That is not its permanent resting location. We're gonna get this all framed in for our panel so we don't have this loose wall thing for us to mount our panel. So we'll use ground contact framing. It's a special kind of framing. You see it in the store, it looks greenish blue. And that's gonna end up getting moved over. So we'll leave a little extra wiring slack up top. That'll let us basically unscrew the straps up on top and relocate that onto our framed wall once we get to that point. So temporary resting location. Approved of by the client. I did not want to drill holes in their door frame, but that's what they said they wanted to do for now. So that's their guidance. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just different. So we got our plug there centered up. Over here, we got another location, another future plug centered up between the windows. And let's go around the truck. Yes, we're marketing for Ford at this point. I've got another one right there. The one on that little diagram that said 24 inches up is this guy right here, 24 inches up. You'll notice we're using snap-in connectors for MC, and you'll also know that we had to include what's called a stinger or a ground wire. This guy, because we're using all metal boxes and all metal cabling, this box has to be grounded. So yeah, super important that you see this. When we're done here, you'll see how that finishes up and you'll see a nice, awesome plug. We got another one right there going, another one right there, and another one right there. And then our last and final resting place is right over there at 24 inches up. The ceiling stuff has not been done yet because, again, I'm a nice guy. Let my guys go for the day. And it's always smart to have 2 people on a site when you're dealing with taller ladders. Because believe it or not, despite your best effort, things happen. And when they happen, it's best not to be alone when they do, or you might be stuck trying to resuscitate yourself. It's not as easy as it sounds. So anyway, that's where we're at with this added project. And yeah, we'll do another follow-up video on this. I still owe you a follow-up video on how the other one turned out and how it finished up. So I'll get that posted out too. But yeah, comments, questions, concerns, criticism, more abuse, love abuse. Other than that, you all have a fantastic weekend. And we'll talk to you later. So this is James Adams with My Home Electrician, signing out.